Pow, pow, pow. Is the Bible true?
Has this ever happened to you? Some guy in your gym makes fun of you for believing in the Bible. He says something like,
It's totally not true, duh.
and you say something clever, like,
It is true.
he counters with,
Nuh-uh.
and you retort,
Shut your mouth.
it can get pretty intense. So who's right? Is the Bible true? Well, believe it or not, a whole lot of really smart people have argued about this very question for hundreds of years, and both sides have stacks of evidence.
Extra-biblical manuscripts fully support my previously stated thesis. Nuh-uh. Shut your mouth, truth hater.
But a lot of times when people ask, is the Bible true?
Truth elbow.
What they're really asking is the Bible historically accurate? Is the Bible a history book? Well, yeah, sort of, but not really, sort of. Part of the problem here is that we can't really irrefutably prove or disprove historical accounts of human events. So there's no way to really prove or disprove the historical accuracy of the Bible, mostly. But that's not really the point. The point is, the Bible isn't supposed to be a history textbook. It wasn't written like a history textbook. It was written like the Bible. So if it's not a history textbook, what do Christians mean when they say the Bible is true? Well, to many Christians, faith depends on accepting the entire Bible as historically accurate. For them, truth equals fact. So if you accept that even one Bible story may not have, quote, actually happened, then how could you trust that any of the stories happened, including the really, really important ones? And if none of them actually happened, well, then what's the point in believing in anything?
Well, in that case, the Bible would be only as important as just any old storybook.
Right. For consistency's sake, many Christians believe that every story in the Bible actually, literally happened. And to believe otherwise brings God's power into question.
Dude, I can totally vouch for God's power here.
To put it another way, if some Bible stories are only as verifiable as, say, the old anecdote that Napoleon Bonaparte invented a tasty cream-filled dessert and named it after himself,
C'est vrai, monsieur. Vive la France. Napoleon's first will invade your kitchen with my new culinary delights.
well then who's to say that all Bible stories aren't equally suspect? Many Christians believe archaeological evidence may yet be found to verify all the grandest Bible stories.
I'm looking.
And some believe sufficient evidence has already been found.
I found it. I finally found it. John the Baptist's lower third molar.
But this can get a bit confusing for the rest of us. Of course, there is a reason that we have historians and archaeologists.
Yay! We're still relevant.
Yes, you are. See, even though theories can and should always be questioned, smart people, like archaeologists and history professors, periodically arrive at something like a consensus about historical events.
I dare say, gents, Napoleon invented the Napoleon.
Right you are.
Most definitely.
I concur, old man. Has anyone read my thesis? Vive la France. Waterloo?
In other words, Christians can be confident that many historical accounts in the Bible literally occurred. For example, there is an overwhelming consensus among critical scholars that a Jewish teacher and healer named Jesus was crucified in Jerusalem on a charge of sedition against the Roman Empire in about 30 AD.
Gee, thanks for the vote of confidence, everyone.
But there are other accounts that don't enjoy quite the same level of consensus among scholars.
Does anyone know where the gag reflex is on one of these things?
Now, consider this. For the very first people who heard these Bible stories, the difference between a factual historical account and a really powerful story didn't really exist. For them, a Bible story could be very true indeed, whether or not anybody could prove that it actually happened. The important thing for them was the meaning behind the story, that it demonstrated the character of God, the God they knew was active in their everyday lives and throughout history. You see, their faith was never in the story at all, or in the storyteller, or even in the pages of a book. Their faith was in God. So what do you think? Is the Bible true?
Well